gold has actually outperformed stocks. So if you guys have been asking a lot about gold investment and whether it's a worthwhile investment, actually quite interestingly, if you look at gold versus the S&P 500 in the last 20 years, gold has actually outperformed stocks. Now, I just want to highlight a couple of things. Like when you say gold, it doesn't mean buying gold jewelry. Yeah, it's about buying gold bullion. So if you buy gold jewelry, don't forget there's actually a retail markup on that. So you're actually not going to get the same return that you're thinking of. Is gold a worthwhile investment? I think you got to think of gold in a very different way. It's absolutely not a stock or equity where it pays you dividends. Gold is essentially a commodity, which means that you are absolutely at the mercy of pricing going up and down. Now, looking at gold, what gives gold value? To me, ultimately, if you look at why people buy gold most of the time, it's actually a store of value. So really, at the end of the day, it's acceptance that it is worth something, right? So you have to remember that it is very much price-based, very much demand, market, supply-based, rather than if you had invested in the company does better, pays more dividends, then the share price goes up. So it's a very different type of dynamics. Now, of course, if you have gone in at the wrong time in gold, you have to be prepared to sit in at a loss position for a significant longer period of time, because you only have one leg to stand on, which is demand and supply, right? So if suddenly there's a big supply of gold that's coming onto the market, you may see prices dip a little bit. Similarly, if there's a limit in supply and there's bigger demand, then you're going to see prices going up. Oh, the second thing that what does not have going for gold is that we have to understand gold as a form of money. It's a very old concept. You know, it goes back thousands of years. You have to look forward in the next 10, 20, 30 years. Who will be looking at gold as a form of value? And that means it has value, right? And if you look at where we are today, our grandfathers, they like gold because they lived in a world where paper money was very fleeting, and it wasn't real, right? So everyone went back to gold. So you're going to realize those in a more older generation, they like gold, they think that it's a great store of value. Now, coming forward, now here's a big question mark. If you talk about millennials, Gen Z, Generation Alpha, they will be that generation that will be inheriting the wealth of their parents. Now, do they think that gold is going to be worth that much, or do they value it as a form of store of value? Or do they look digitally and say, hey, you know what, I think Bitcoin is a better store of value? Now, that's a big question mark. So if you're investing in gold for the next 10, 20 years, even though historically it has outperformed the S&P 500, number one, you got to be prepared for volatility, right? Because you only have one leg to stand on, which is demand and supply. Second thing, right? Because gold doesn't have a lot of industrial uses, right? And jewelry is not going to be considered in industrial use. And second thing is, going forward, who will be willing to buy gold at higher prices? You have to look at the next generation. Go talk to your friends. Do they like gold? Do they think that gold is a great store of value, or maybe Bitcoin could be the alternative? All right. Good luck with your investments.